he said it because of his wet blanket energy.
Unhinged. That's actually unhinged.
Hello and welcome to She's All Batch. I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Jackie.
And we don't care if you're here for the right reasons. We're just happy that you're here.
Yes. So come join us as we talk shit about our favorite show. Or hear me out, guys. What if, for the first time this whole season, we don't talk shit and we say, you know what? That was pretty good.
Good finale. That was a really good finale. I was actually thoroughly impressed. Enjoyed it from start to finish. Guys,
okay, let's
get into
crazy here because the last 20 minutes I didn't need.
Okay, fine.
The bloopers don't need. The Taylor Frankie Paul I was underwhelmed by.
Oh,
I didn't need that.
Oh, see, I needed that. No, I have thoughts. Guys, I cried. I laughed.
That's crazy.
I cried.
You are getting ridiculous now.
I know. But I am the more ridiculous one between the two. So if it's going to be one of us,
so it kind of tracks.
Yeah. Guys, if you are watching on YouTube, hi, but also make sure you're subscribed at home if you're at home, but also make sure you're subscribed on your podcast app or wherever you listen to your podcast. And if you're listening, hey guys, what's up? You can also watch if you wanted to. We decided for finale, we would whip out the old cameras and talk to you on YouTube.
Dust off the old lens and press record, you know?
Yeah. Shall we get into it?
Let's get into it. Yeah. So they wasted our time for about 5 minutes in the beginning by showing us scenes that we've already seen before.
As they do.
Then we get into the studio, and was your first thought, where's DIANE? Because mine was.
Maybe this is why I went into this with such an open mind, because I had a game to play. I was on DIANE Watch. And guys, when I tell you, I texted you, I watched it before you. And I texted you and I was like, I can't wait for you to watch the first 10 minutes. It was because I saw DIANE. Also,
of course.
Jesse teasing, he's like, let's go to some people in the audience. And I was like, all right, this is it. Everyone brace for impact. And then he goes to Joan and Chalk. I'm like, okay, Gary and his fiance, literally, why are you there? Like, no.
I know.
Then he's like, and there's some other fan favorites. And I'm like, here it is. Justin and Spencer. I'm like, okay, love you guys, but this is not the time. And then it was, he said, and we have our golden ladies. And I'm like,
yeah, there she was.
The moment
with the
of
golden
truth.
Royalty. Like she really was there with all the girlies. And did you notice at one point they put her in the box on the side? And I'm like, oh yes, let's make sure we see DIANE's reaction to this moment. But
she was next to Cheryl in the box. And I'm like, wow, our two queens of the season.
I know. They're all queens. You know what I was just thinking of too? We should DM Teresa or Leslie and ask them if they had any interaction with Gary at the thing.
I know. I actually was meaning to text Teresa because I saw her. She was sitting behind DIANE. She was sitting with Leslie. And then Gary and I was like, oh my God, they're in the same room. Like, are you guys...
Yeah, like something is going down. It's awkward for sure, obviously.
I'm sure there was some awkward tension in the audience, but not sure what actually happened there. So that was our star-studded audience. I was very thoroughly impressed. Although we didn't get more of DIANE. I was really hoping we would find out how the son's wedding was. One of you guys will be getting a sweatshirt. I'm not sure how we're going to choose though. How do we choose? Should we say go over to the YouTube and comment and then we'll pull from the comments?
Perfect. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so if you're watching on YouTube, comment below. If you are listening, just go over to the YouTube and comment there because we have no other means to like choose a winner.
Yeah.
And one of you is getting a sweatshirt, a FOT sweatshirt in celebration of this glorious occasion that we saw DIANE again.
Yeah, I am a little surprised that she didn't get a specific call out of like, hey, DIANE.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Like
but,
the Golden Ladies and DIANE, featuring DIANE.
Yeah.
Like she's like the star of the
literally.
group. But yeah, I was kind of let down by that. But you know what? I saw DIANE on screen and that's all I needed.
Well, that was the bet. That was what we predicted.
Right.
So
yeah. So we get back to Cindy and Mel's dinner. And dare I say, this dinner went, like this whole finale went almost exactly how I predicted. I think the one thing I got wrong was I thought Cindy was going to, I thought Mel was going to dump Cindy. Cindy left on her own.
I actually did suspect that Cindy was going to walk away. What I didn't quite get right about this finale is I thought Mel was going to maybe give into some sort of pressure and actually propose to Peg. which like we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Mm-hmm,
mm-hmm.
But
I don't want to jump. But
you don't want to go there just yet. No, I know.
No.
We have to go in order. Yeah, I don't know. I was proud of Cindy in this situation, and I think the thing that I was trying to figure out in this moment though was like, does Mel not want to get engaged, or does he not want to get engaged to Cindy? Because at this point in time, I still thought that an engagement to someone, potentially Peg, was on the table.
Right. Yeah. No, everything about this Cindy and Mel conversation, both at this dinner and then after the final rose, they're like they're having two separate conversations. Like one is saying one thing and one is saying the other. And I'm like, I don't think you guys are listening to each other because you're not really making sense. I don't know the answer to that still. Was it
right?
He just wasn't the one, or he just wasn't ready? But he tells her, like she says she wants a life partner. Mel says past a year he doesn't know what's going to happen, and I'm like, what?
Right.
So you can only commit 365 days, and then you're done? What did that mean? Or him saying, I don't have to propose to you because what if in 2 years I'm like, I'll just marry her, and I'm like, Mel, what? If you're going to propose, it's to get married. It was very confusing.
And that was a whole different conversation from the conversation he was having with her on the couch, where he was almost trying to rewrite history and be like, well, I couldn't give you that full commitment. That wasn't fair because there was two people here. You wanted me to skip so many steps and say that I wanted to marry you, but I couldn't because we're in the middle of this and Peg is still here. But that's not what Cindy was saying. Cindy was saying, are you going to get married to anyone at the end of this? Because I want to be in the game if there is an engagement at the end. But if that's not something you want for yourself at the end of this process, then like, I'm going to leave because I want to get engaged at the end of this process. But then he tries to twist it and he's like, well, how could I have said that? You were trying to skip all these steps. And she wasn't. She was just trying to understand what his intention was at the end. And I don't know if Mel knew what his intention was throughout any of this, or if he was just trying to dance around it to not come off like a bad guy.
Yes. And then after the final rose, he was like, well, yeah, but we haven't had that alone time yet. You left, like you skipped all those steps. And
right.
But like Mel, you still said you didn't want to get engaged at the end. So whether or not you had a fantasy suite, you still didn't want to get engaged. Why are you bringing up the lack of time that she had? He was so fixated on she quit. She didn't see the game through. Like he was comparing it to a football game. He was missing her point that she didn't want to see the game through only to get like a boyfriend at the end.
If the end of the game was not going to be a proposal to anyone. Do you think at this point, though, he thought that had Cindy stayed, he would have maybe changed his mind?
I don't know, because then we learn he said at that point at Cindy's dinner, he didn't know who it was. So
right. But it seems like at that point, he didn't want to get engaged to anyone.
Right.
Well, and that's fair for Cindy to want to know. Right. And he didn't. So, but I guess maybe is his argument, and I'm just like trying to figure his logic here. His argument is maybe had he had the fantasy suite with Cindy, something would have changed in him, and maybe he would have wanted to get engaged to her if he knew more information about her.
I feel like then he should have said, I don't know if an engagement is definitive. I do feel like we need to see the rest of our time through in order for me to know. He should have said that. He literally was like, no, I don't take a leap of faith. They did not go over that during casting, and therefore I am not required to take a leap of faith. I do like, though, I mean, I will jump to Peg for a second, that they're like, look, Neil Lane needs this publicity. You're going to have to give her a ring, and you can call it a promise ring.
Yep. Well, it was free, so they might as well. Like, yeah, free ring.
I weirdly kind of liked that he did that. I feel like that's something we would have made fun of maybe in another season. But in this season, I'm like, you know what? They're in their 60s. He's like, this is a token of my commitment to you. I want to see where things go. Here's this gorgeous, like very expensive ring that I got for free. I don't know. I was like kind of happy about the promise ring.
Was that in between when you were crying? Because what I wrote down was, so I'm giving you an engagement ring because it's free, but I literally don't love you and we're not engaged and we're not going to get married. LMAO. I thought that was just such a silly little cop out for a free ring. In what Bachelor world can you get the free ring and just actively say you're not getting engaged and you have no intention of getting married? Oh, and by the way, I don't even love you yet. They
Yeah.
didn't even love each other. And he still gets the free ring because they just want that shot so bad. Neil Lane is like, I'm so thirsty for publicity, which he is, obviously. We all would be. No judgment to Neil Lane, but like,
They would have got the shot anyway. They would have just said, Mel, stand there holding the ring, a la Colton.
yeah.
But I did my research because I wasn't sure. They have done the promise ring thing in the past. I thought this was the first of its time,
Oh.
or the first of its kind. I was like, well, wait, isn't that kind of historical? It's the first Golden Bachelor to ever offer a
Mm-hmm.
promise ring to someone. You could have, why wasn't that like something historical happens? You know what they do every season? Like, it's never been
True. You know
done
what? The
before.
one time they actually have something that might have never been done before, but you're saying it had been done.
It had, but so golden. Like just
Okay, yeah, fair, fair, fair.
like they always twist it. They're like, well, this has happened before, but never on a Thursday. Like they always
No,
like try to
literally, I
like twist
know.
the narrative to like fit what they want. I'm surprised. I think they honestly just gave the fuck up on the season. Like I think they were just like, whatever. It doesn't, we don't need to keep promoting it. No one's watching it.
Yeah, which is a shame because then they could have gotten people to watch this good finale.
I know. I mean, we were required to for this job, but I'm happy I
Right.
did. I
Yeah,
like
no, I am too. I had a good time.
so Cindy says to Mel her philosophy, behave to make my future husband proud of me. I love that. She's such a freaking class act.
She
And
is really classy.
she said she wants her guy to feel like they can't live without her and she doesn't want to just free fall. And she goes, are you okay if I leave now? He has no clue that's coming. He even tells Jesse it was going so well.
Wait, like, was it?
He was
No,
like
I don't think
really
it
mad
was.
the entire time that you weren't giving her what she wanted. It was not going well. In my notes, I go, Mel's shocked by this. He gave everything he could. Quote, I told her I didn't want to commit. I told her I think she's nice. What else could I have done? Like
What
that's
could you
Max.
possibly have done? Also, did you think it was interesting that like the scene of Jesse saying like, "Well, she's still here," was kind of different than the scene we got in the promo? Now,
Hmm.
what's up with that?
I actually found the conversation with Jesse to be a lot more interesting than I expected. Jesse seems
Hmm.
almost disappointed in Mel and pushing him and persuading him to go after Cindy anyway, even though she left.
Yeah.
Like
Well, because
Jesse's like,
what a show that would be. That's the storyline that would probably be more entertaining.
Jesse goes, well, 23 women showed up hoping to get engaged to you. And Mel's like, well, not all of them.
I think that's logical and normal to say. Not
Well, not
every woman
Peg.
there wanted to get
Not
engaged to
Peg.
him. Well, not Peg, and probably not
Probably not Diane.
75% of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Diane for sure. Yeah, not Andra. Not Andra.
Yeah. Where was she tonight? Justice for Andra. Actually, I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't scan them all. I was just
I was
so
gonna say
excited that I saw.
she very well could have been in that group of Goldens. I don't even know exactly who was all there.
I was blinded by Diane.
Blinded by the gold.
But I think it's also interesting. Jesse's like, oh, so do you? I know for a fact she's still here. Like that scene, which you're right. He doesn't say that in the finale, but in the trailer,
Yeah.
he says, I know for a fact she's still here. And then they cut to the studio, and Jesse's like, does Mel go after Cindy? Let's find out. Come on out, Cindy. And I'm like, well, clearly he doesn't go after Cindy then. If
Right.
like, you know, they like built up
Well,
this
I thought
whole
maybe
scene
they
for
were
nothing.
hinting at maybe there would be like another conversation where he like goes to find her like in her hotel room and they have
Yeah.
another breakup chat. That's
Right,
I think what they wanted, right? Like that's just better television. But
Why dump
they
her
didn't get that.
twice? Or like why break up twice?
Right.
She already made her decision. And even Jesse's questions. So now Cindy comes out looking like a bombshell. Like that
I know,
is
she
a
looked so
revenge
good.
dress if I ever saw one. But all of Jesse's questions, I mean, not surprising, but it's like, well, was there anything Mel could have done? Like, yeah, tell her he loved her and tell her he wanted to. There's a lot of things he could have done.
Right.
And he just kept asking these very surface level questions. It's clear why she left. She couldn't have made it more clear that she wanted an engagement and this man was not on the same page as her.
But what I appreciated about this is because they filmed it not live, that I feel like Jesse at least gave them a little bit more time to have a conversation. And it wasn't a good conversation. Like Mel and Cindy kind of went at it back and forth and definitely have very different accounts of why their relationship ended. And I feel like in normal Bachelor times, they would say two sentences to each other and Jesse would be like, thank you.
Fair point.
Cindy, I'll give you the last word. And then it's like, and now to the commercial break. Whereas like they really sat there for a significant amount of time going at it.
Having two separate conversations, though.
Oh, yes. Both from very different perspectives. Like, just really, like, on different wavelengths. I feel like they were going like this, like parallel lines, not like, able to see each other's points.
Yeah, fighting different arguments. Jessie asks her, this was like her mic drop moment of the episode. Jessie asked her, why did you walk away knowing that if you stayed, maybe he would have changed his feelings? And she said, I don't need to convince a man to love me.
Fair.
Iconic.
He said he wasn't going to change his feelings. He said he does not want to get engaged.
And she doesn't want to not get engaged. It's like, try to fit a square into a circle, the great Lizzie McGuire once said.
Yes.
Right, wasn't it Hillary?
Yes, it was Hillary. Which she came out with new music, by the way. Did you listen?
God, I know, Mature. So excited.
Yeah. Okay. But this isn't a sound off episode. We can't get into that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mel comes out to join her on the couch when they have their little banter. His shoes were the first thing I noticed. I liked the sneakers, but people are making fun of them.
I liked them too. No, okay. I thought he looked so good when he came out. This was the first time I ever thought Mel was hot.
No, I thought Mel was hot all season, and I thought he was especially hot tonight.
Okay, so then they cut back to Mel and Peg's. Did I say Mel and Peg? Okay, I was doing the same thing that you were doing last time, where like I think I'm saying like Meg, but I said Mel and Peg.
You know who else does that? Mel's college friend DIANE, and I was
another DIANE.
I know, she stole that from me.
They were really, I don't know if like Mel is just a horrible communicator, which like we know he is, but yeah, or they coached him to say things in a certain way. But I feel like they were really trying to set this scene where he came to her in the morning to make it seem like he wanted to tell Peg something about his overnight with Cindy in like a negative way of like, oh, we slept together and I need to be honest with you or something.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I actually clocked. He says to her, like, I have to tell you something about my overnight date with Cindy. Right. And I'm like, you didn't
something did change.
You didn't have an overnight date with Cindy. So that wording, especially, it's kind of giving like, you're not the one I can live with. You're the one I can't live without. Like, yes, that line seems like I think he was coached on those lines to get them for the trailer specifically. Because then they included in the trailer, I have to tell you about my fantasy suite date or like my overnight date. So it makes people think, oh, you guys had the overnight date when I didn't think you did. So Peg is shocked to her very core when she learns that she's the last woman standing. Is this the face of a woman who like finds out she won by default?
And her expression changed so deeply. Like I really think she thought that he was gonna maybe even break up with her. I think though still what is unclear is like he's like, I still want me and you. And at this point, I don't know why I'm writing this over and over again in capital letters. I'm like, does Mel not want a proposal or does he not want a proposal with Cindy? What does Peg want, though? Is she accepting of potentially not getting engaged? Which obviously we learned that clearly she is. But I feel like I was really torn up at this point because I felt that this was not what Peg wanted.
But once she said to, I think, DIANE, the college friend, they're like, are you falling in love? And she's like, no. I'm not there yet. I'm like, oh, so she's going to be fine. This is when I started to turn and I'm like, wait, maybe they're perfect together. That's when I got like really excited for them as a couple because they both were totally content with like taking their time, being chill, not so much pressure, light, airy, fun, energy. Like now I finally got what he meant when he said it was her energy because I saw it in this episode that I'm like, wow, like, you guys kind of make a lot of sense together. And now looking at him and Cindy, like you guys don't make any sense. She wanted something so serious, so quick. Peg was down to just hang out and see. And
that's so true.
I was like, so
like what are the chances he actually finds someone so on his same level?
But like the kids said that too. The sons were like, wow, like she sounds exactly like you. Like her vibe is so much. Oh, they're like, when he's like, oh, she's a firefighter. He's like, dude, like they thought that was the coolest thing in the world that she was a firefighter and she did the bomb stuff. Like they were really impressed by Peg. And this is when I started to think like, were we / America too hard on Mel? He's just a guy who didn't want to get engaged on TV.
But then why did they pick him? Why did they pick him?
So then it's ABC.
Okay, but that's not Mel's fault. You're right.
It's ABC to blame, not Mel. I don't know. I can't blame the guy. We literally knock people every season for making stupid decisions.
True. No, he was being the most, both of them, being the most logical and most realistic about this situation. They're like, hey, we're not going to be in love after meeting on a TV show. Like, let's
Yeah.
feel it out. I really like you. We have fun together,
Mm-hmm.
similar lifestyles. We'll see. Wow. Who knew that it would be the Golden Bachelor that would bring the most like logic and reason to this silly little franchise?
And like Gary shot that to shit. So now we have Mel actually being the voice of reason of this franchise.
Yeah.
I told you guys, once you go Blissy, you will not go back. And I am true to my word because when I went on a trip last week, I literally brought my pillowcase with me because I knew where I was staying. They weren't going to have Blissy silk pillowcases. Major fail, by the way. And I'm not going to sleep on a pillow without this pillowcase. Not only is it the most comfortable pillowcase I've ever put my face on, but it also has so many added benefits. This pillowcase eliminates frizz, preserves hairstyles, and protects color-treated hair. Plus, it has anti-aging properties and reduces fine lines and wrinkles over time. Hello, does your pillowcase do that? I doubt it. And with the holidays coming up, this is just the perfect stocking stuffer. I know I'm actually going to be getting this for my sister. Hopefully she's not listening, but they have over 99 colors available and a new Wicked and Harry Potter line. So if you're looking for a gift for yourself, highly recommend, or someone else, definitely check out Blissy. Because you're a listener of She's All Batch, Blissy is offering 60 nights risk-free plus an additional 30% off when you shop at blissy.com/batch30. That's BLISSY.com/batch30. And use code batch30 to get an additional 30% off. Your skin and hair will thank you.
And it actually is kind of nice to see. I know I'm doing a total 180 now, but like that there are different types of love and it's all like valuable. Like in your 60s when you both have like full lives and homes and kids, maybe just like having a companion to enjoy each other's company for these like golden years of your life is enough. Maybe you don't need to be like head over heels. Oh, I would literally die for you. Marry me right now. Like they're just chilling, enjoying life, probably having the best freaking time.
And it was because of their realistic approach. I don't know how realistic it is, especially like no one said L words. Like we weren't getting that far. So why rush an engagement if you're not there? Just get the free ring, which I fully support. I was so on board with it. I'm like, you know what? You could have left and just said your boyfriend and girlfriend. Juan Pablo said, I have a ring in my pocket, but I'm not going to use it. And then Nikki never got the ring. Mel freaking Peg got the ring. I'm happy for her. And I feel like they have just as much of a chance of making it as any of the other people. I mean, Teresa and Gary got married and that didn't work.
I know. I think they have more of a chance of making it. It seems like there's no pressure on it. Like they're not in any rush to like go live together. They just, travel around, do their things.
I know.
She has a sick ass diamond on her hand. Like,
so this is when I cried though. So when they're at the end, Mel gives his speech. He's like, he would invite her family into his family. This is the most we've seen this man talk the entire season. And it didn't feel scripted. It felt like he was genuinely speaking to her. And I don't know, that paired with the acoustic version of I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, I was like, are you kidding me? Robert Mills. But Peg saying to the camera, I'm not for everybody, he's not for everybody, but we're definitely for each other. Like,
yeah, sweet.
Guys, mom and dad, I'm so happy for you guys. I'm more about the drama. I'm more about the cat fights. I'm like so here for this love story.
Yeah.
Who would have thought?
It's sweet. Who would have thought Mel has love at the end?
Who would have thought we were on board with it? Look at us.
I know. Oh, like literally 2 weeks ago, I feel like we were like, I hope Mel ends up with no one. He doesn't deserve any of these women. Aww,
no, I actually feel really bad.
Mel, I take it back. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm so
we
here
didn't
for
know
it.
Back then.
Also, Jackie was way harder on you than me. So
probably. Yeah. I don't even know what I said, but probably. Yeah.
We did start changing our tune after the Women Tell All when we realized all the women had really nice things to say.
Yeah.
Even Cindy, who didn't have the best ending with him, was like, I pray for you every night. I still love you. You're a wonderful man. I'm like, maybe he's nice. He just wasn't Bachelor material.
I think he just is not a good communicator, particularly on camera, because he is from that older generation where like they really see like expressing your feelings as vulnerability, and they weren't taught to do that because they were, you know, raised in really hard circumstances. So maybe he really is nice. And honestly, he didn't do anything to Cindy. Like, he was just honest with her. He was like, look, I don't think we're gonna get engaged. That's not what I'm looking for. And she wanted engagement. Okay, great.
Imagine if he said, yeah, I do think engagement's on the table, to get her to go to the fantasy suite. And then
right, exactly.
Something to be said about the fact that he was honest with her before an overnight date. I don't know. We can all learn a lesson from Mel Owens. Jesus Christ. So they come out for the first time. He dips and kisses her.
I know.
And then he said, I don't need 23 women. I just need one. And I found the one.
Aw.
Well, so Jesse's interviewing them, asking his basic ass questions. And Peg is the first one to say it. She says, she's talking about Mel, and she goes, and that's why I fell in love with him. Jesse doesn't even hear it. Asks them another question. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, that's when you fell in love with him. This is the first time we're hearing that, Jesse. It's time to ask them the status of their relationship. It wasn't until Mel also said, and that's when I fell in love with her, regarding something else, that Jesse's like, so tell us, what is the status between the two of you? And we find out that they're like head over heels. Like,
yeah, they're in love.
So maybe it does take time, just like Mel said.
That is true. We've always known that, right? Well, who are we going to get? Who is going to hate on the fact that we're saying it takes more than 6 weeks on a TV show to fall in love with someone?
Right.
If you're hating on that, you're crazy.
Also, just like click X and just stop listening. It's fine. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
We then get a little sneak peek. Jesse brings us to a conversation he had with Taylor Frankie Paul.
Yes.
So you didn't like this? I thought this was kind of genius marketing.
Really? I thought this was a waste of my time.
Well,
I just feel like she talked so fast and was so all over the place, which on one hand, it's like, okay, I get that you're crazy and that will be good for TV.
That's what it is.
I know, but I could have, like, that's all I got from the interaction. Like, she's talking about like, oh, I said this to this guy and this. I was like, well, I don't know these guys, so I don't need to hear about this until I watch the show.
Fair.
You know?
And you really don't care about it until it's actually on TV. So I understand that.
I really don't. Yeah.
I think that was their way of saying, look, we know this season was kind of a flop, but mess is coming and we're going to prove it. And I think Jesse purposely saying to her, like, oh, yeah, and you just got into a fight with that guy. And then this guy stormed off. And at this group date, this happened. I think they're purposely saying that to let us know, like, drama's already happening. They're not even halfway through. And it seems like it kicks off very quickly, which is good for us, because I hate waiting for the drama. That I was like, oh, okay, and like a Dancing with the Stars date, he's already plugging Mormon wives, and no shit, they come to like judge a date. I'm not surprised by that. But I do think this is all strategic. Like, they're planting the seeds of like, hey, come back, because next year we have something brewing. I just think it's a little dumb that we have to wait like 6 months. Like, that's insane.
I know. They could have planned that better, but I think it was, who was it? Steve was saying, because there's the Winter Olympics or something. Like, I don't know if there was another time that would have made sense for them to air this show. Even if they did it in January, because Winter Olympics is right there in February. Although, what would they have done if it was normal Bachelor? Just air it and lose ratings? Probably.
Well, yeah. And I think at this point, they're like, we can't afford to lose any more ratings.
Yeah.
So we have to pull out all the stops. And I mean, we said this during our episode about when we talked about the premiere date, but I think they're changing it up so drastically because they have to change something. And they're spending a ton of money to have her. They're changing so much for her. I mean, I said this to you off camera, but she's all over social media. Like, she's posting. I don't know if she has her phone to go Google guys or anything, but the fact that she has a presence on social media while filming speaks volumes, because they're willing to let her do things that they're not willing to let other bachelorettes do. And she's getting like special treatment because I think they see her as their last shot to save the franchise.
I mean, I think she kind of is.
I do too.
How much do you think they're paying her? That's what I want to know.
I believe like Emily Maynard was the highest one ever, and she was $250. I think
she's way more, right?
But see, I don't know. Emily Maynard was during Emily Maynard was during a very popular time of the franchise. So I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, but this is a woman who has like 6 million TikTok.
Yeah. Right.
I feel like they need to at least pay her like 500,000 to like $1 million. I was gonna say $1 million, maybe. It's still Disney. Like they have money, in general,
and they can get crazy promotion from her too, like free promotion.
Right?
They don't have to pay for commercials on TV if they didn't want to. They can just be like, Taylor, here, make a TikTok about.
It's true, honestly. Like if she has 6 million TikTok followers, like
that's already more than what
more
people
that watch the show, which is crazy. Sorry, guys, we have a doggy crashing our recap.
Hey,
we're almost done.
I don't know. I was open to it because I'm like, all right, guys, I see what you're doing. And I will
for sure. No,
in.
I'm excited. Of course, we'll all be tuning in. And I know a lot of people who have never watched the show will be tuning in. A lot of people who have left the show will be tuning back in. So I have high hopes.
So I was okay with it.
And also, it is kind of nice that we're taking a bit of a break because it's like, I feel like I say this a lot too. I'm like, let the people miss it for a minute. Like, I feel like they always go season into season into season. We never get a break.
Yeah.
Let people be like, wait, when's Bachelor coming back?
Distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Exactly.
But back to the studio. We have more with Peg and Mel. We get a food montage of Mel eating. And during one of the dinners, Mel takes his wine home in a to-go cup. I was like, all right, nail in the coffin. Like, I'm obsessed with this man.
My God.
You're taking your wine home in a to-go cup from a Bachelor date? That's
I didn't think that
iconic.
Was that crazy. I thought
I think that's amazing. No, I loved it.
I
so
think
relatable.
Everyone does that. No, so relatable for sure.
Yes, for like someone that's obsessed with wine. Yeah, I would do that.
I know, but don't you think like I don't think he's the first one to do that. I think we're just the first now seeing it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I made me feel like I liked him more though, and I'm like, wait, this is what I mean. Like,
I know, and it's like, why do they always do this? Why do they cast these leads and we don't see their personality until the very, very end, or they're literally off the show? If we had seen more of this type of Mel the whole time, maybe we wouldn't have hated him so much. Ever think about that, ABC?
Yeah, a little bizarre. Bizarre choice, but whatever. You redeemed yourself. Oh, yeah, no, we saw bloopers. And then Jesse asks what's next. And they start like naming random things that they have to do. And I'm like, I don't think that's what he means, guys. I think he means like what's next for you as a couple. They're like, well, we have a bridal shower on Saturday.
Yeah, we're going to Vegas for a little.
Yeah. And then he says that they're sending them to Napa Valley, which is very random.
Which is great. Wait, question. The Super Bowl's not till February, though. I was like, why are they saying that?
I guess that's what they have
on their
like, agenda.
We're going to. I know, but if they don't have anything going on from Vegas this weekend to February.
He's like, then we have lunch with my college buddies. And then I'm like, that's not what he means, but okay. I don't know. Maybe he got tickets to the Super Bowl and he's excited. He does watch football every single weekend. Remember that was like his requirement in a woman. She has to be alive.
I hate that
energy, and they have to watch football every Sunday. Like
any boy who watches okay, here's the thing. You can watch football. I'm even down to watch with you like 1 or 2 games per weekend. But like the people who literally set their alarm, wake up, and sit in front of the TV all Sunday for literally 12 hours.
No, you're crazy.
What is wrong with you? Crazy.
Everything.
I get it if you have a game you need to watch or you like the team. You like every single team equally. I doubt that.
Yeah. Is it like a series that if you miss one game, you'll be lost in the next game?
No.
So
I mean, I guess a lot of them, they have like their fantasy stuff or whatever they need to check on. So that's why they need to watch every single game.
Started. I don't even know what that means. I don't know what it means. And they meet. They like have little like
to do the drafts. Yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? Like,
well, so you need me to explain it to you? They meet in the beginning because you just pick your players, but you can pick players that are on any team, and then you like pick your little roster for the week, and then depending on how each of the individual players do is how you get points for your team. So that's why they have to watch every single game, because they might have a player on their fantasy team on a random team that they don't necessarily care about. Like if you're a Giants fan, but you have someone from like the Packers on your fantasy team, you're going to still want to watch the Packers game so that you can like see how this one guy does, if he even plays.
But guys, it's not real. Like they're not really on your team.
Well, they are on it's a fantasy team. So yes, emphasis on the not real fantasy.
Yeah.
But like they're still playing a game in that sense. It's real. Like they're getting points. If Joe Schmo on the Packers scores a touchdown, and I had Joe Schmo on my fantasy team, I get points.
And so does Joe Schmo.
Yeah. My ex-boyfriend used to, like, because in LA, the games start earlier too. So at 9:55 every single Sunday morning, the alarm would go off.
That's brutal. I feel for you.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
Who's going to play you
survived.
in the movie? Yeah.
I don't know, but we'll cast in a few months. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then we end this episode by finding, we said the Napa Valley. Did we say Napa Valley?
Yeah.
They're going to Napa Valley. Yeah, we already said that.
Woo!
And then they invite the son and the daughter up on stage. Someone forgot to pull the confetti thing. It came out mid-sentence. I don't know. Dare I say justice for Mel? Because I think they knew this whole time that he had this ending. Obviously, when they were editing the whole season, they knew this. And this was a lovely ending. We have a great couple who are happy. I wonder why they couldn't, because they could have easily done a different edit.
Well, they clearly had footage of him showing more of his fun personality. Yeah. And they chose not to air it. I need to talk to the people in the editing rooms because they do this all the time with their leads and it's not nice. And not nice to us either.
But they also did it with Grant, and then Grant ended up being like,
okay, that was one time,
almost even worse.
Okay, yes, but they did it with Clayton, and Clayton's amazing. We love Clayton.
Yeah, we love him, which is a hot take lately too, but we do like him.
Really? What did he do?
Well, perfect match with Rachel.
Oh, well, I
that was one time.
That was one time. Except it like literally wasn't. He's done this to Rachel like 3 times now.
We're not saying when we say we like someone, it doesn't mean we like everything they've ever done in their entire life.
Right. Oh. But when we interviewed him, he was really nice to us.
Yeah. So. And he sang It's Clayton's Corner, and
exactly.
That's a song to my heart. Well, all right, guys. I mean, I think that's a wrap on Mel's well, no, it is. That's a wrap on Mel's season.
It is. I don't think. I know it's a wrap.
I'm going to go follow Mel. I'm going to go follow Peg if I'm not already following her. And I'm going to follow Cindy. Okay. They all deserve my support. And I can't wait. True. And I think, you know what? This relationship is set up for success because it was built on a realistic foundation.
So
not built on like, oh, I banged the runner-up yesterday and told her I loved her, but I'm going to propose to you today. This is actually built on like real stuff. And do you think that it would have been Peg if Cindy never left?
I don't know. I do kind of think at that point he was still maybe torn. Don't you think the not wanting to get engaged thing kind of came in the 11th hour?
Because Cindy says that herself. Yeah, she said. She's like, he would stand there and be like, oh, my wife's in this room.
Yeah, and the whole season he's talking about how he really likes being married and that was hard for him when he got divorced. I wonder if he started coming around to that maybe because he was leaning more Peg and realized Peg was maybe being more realistic. Because I've always felt Peg has a good head on her shoulders.
Yes, very smart. I
don't know if it was Peg that made him ditch the engagement or he ditched the engagement because he was leaning Peg.
Right. What came first, the chicken or the egg?
Mm-hmm.
The chicken or the peg. I don't know. I guess we'll never know. But it's okay because we have a happy couple. And like Cindy, your DMs are going to be flooded, girl.
Of course. I mean, in that dress?
Seriously. I'm going to slide in. You look like a snack.
Oh my God.
How do we wrap?
So, bye.
So
I guess what are we doing next? We'll do an episode next week and then it's Thanksgiving and then there's like a week or two and then it's Christmas. We don't quite know what we're doing for the next till the end of the year, but you'll hear from us
when we know. Eventually, you'll be the first to know.
When we feel like it, we'll release an episode.
Well, today's Wednesday, so this is normal, right?
Well, right, but I don't think we were going to do anything for the rest of the week.
No, I can't.
Right, exactly.
No, so we'll see you next week.
We have an ad for next week, so there'll be something. Okay.
No, we're not gonna just start. We're not going on break just because Mel finds love.
Well, I know, but Thanksgiving. But Thanksgiving is the following week. So
right. All right. I think that's it. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. We'll see you when we see you, guys.
We'll see you next week. We'll see you next week. Don't worry.
I know, but we don't know what day, and we don't know what the episode's gonna be, but we'll find out.
So stay tuned. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Subscribe here. Why not? Give us a thumbs up, and then you can go over to the podcast app and go subscribe there, because that's where all our most of our episodes will be. So don't be duped, YouTubers.
Totally.
Okay. Is that it?
I think that's it.
Bye, bitches.